Sticha incurs. So one way or another we need to deal with this. This massive creature looms over you. A scent like lightning and an underground cavern washes over you. It reminds you of nothing so much as curiosity. It jitters and rumbles, waving its large claws through an expressive dance. Something about these smells, sounds and gestures seem familiar. A niggling itch in the back of your mind. At least you remember the taxonomy now. This is a Stichis, a huge burrowing insectoid. It points to itself and says, "Shike." It follows with another stream of high-pitched noise. Ooh, you dig under the city, right? Can you take me someplace? Over the scent of warm gravel, the stitches clicks and whistles. You understand the words. Yes, shins. Ledge in cliff's edge. Place where your eggs hatch. Changing God's sanctuary. What do the Sticha use shins for? It points to various items on your belt and person, and you think it's telling you that the Sticha buy items from a human. Let's see. So we could just pay him, but there's no indication of how much we would be paying, for one thing. So, and I do want to solve the Sticha issue, larger Sticha issue, so we might as well ask about that. Tell me about this place. It looks at you intently, and then its spatulate fingers begin a slow and careful dance. The sounds it makes are slow jitters that rise and fall in pitch, accompanied by the smell of ozone. Wood rock, full of electricity. Tell me about the Sticha. It scrabbles briefly at the wall, and a bit of lightning flares about the crown of antenna on its head. Its shoulders shrug, and you smell dust. You almost have the sense of the language, the structure, the feel, the sound and scent. The itch in your mind intensifies. You can feel the memory of the Stitch's language waiting to reveal itself. Okay, this has to work. 55%. Yeah. No. Okay. You focus deep within your mind, blocking out external distraction, and the memories rise. There must be a reason this tongue sounds familiar to you. There must. But try as you might, you can only conjure the image of a small box flickering impatiently in front of you. No other thoughts attach themselves. At last you relinquish the attempt. It's fruitless. Idle search requires trained tidal affinity. Tell me about the Sticha then. Yeah, I just don't understand him. What do you think of Helii? The Sticha seems discombobulated for a moment. Ooh. Then it thinks a little more. Then it sprays out a blast of pheromones, and you smell the sharp tang of acid and weakened stone. It smells of distrust. Okay. I'm come to ask you to stop digging underneath the city. She waves its arms around, and the air fills with the scent of slow-growing fungus. You think it says, "Why?" More incomprehensible chitter follows, and then it speaks slowly and carefully. Not learn our speech, not work us. No. Not now? We did. So there's not much going to be happening here. Some kind of a tidal affinity skill would be required for me to make any progress. Oh, take me somewhere underneath the city. Ledge in Cliff's Edge. What the fuck is this? Tensions. Sure. It's affordable. Looks like I'll have to basically kill the Stiches or capture their eggs and blackmail them. Ah, it's this one.
Go.
Quick ice axe. Physical and chemical damage. Bleeding. It's an okay weapon. Significant damage improvement.
Hands. On it.
A faint droning sound resolves into a rhythmic churning hum as you approach this strange machine. An ovoid opening lined with a metallic wire mesh dominates the front of the device, and through it you catch the faintest glimpse of swirling liquid. Atop the machine rests a dome of translucent material and a brilliantly lit sphere. Okay, examine the wire mesh. The mesh appears to prohibit direct contact with the fluid jostling around the device's interior. Curiosity must have gotten the better of someone, however, as a line has been sliced cleanly through the bottom of this mesh. The opening created by the slash appears roughly large enough to reach an arm into. Yeah, let's not start with that. The dome. On closer inspection, you notice the dome contains what appears to be a human brain, but it's several times larger than a normal brain. It floats serenely within the closure, pulsing occasionally, but you can find no way to interact with it. Tap the dome. You knock lightly on the dome, which triggers a minor convulsion from the brain within. However, nothing else happens. Okay, examine the sphere. The glowing sphere appears solidly attached to the rest of the machine. The light dims as you move your hands close to it. You spend a few moments moving your hand all around the sphere, and eventually you discover that its light seems to dim as your hand gets closer to a fixed point directly in front of it. Okay. Pass your hand in front of the sphere. The sphere's light dims, then brightens again as your hand completes the motion. From within the machine you hear the strangled sound of an evacuating liquid. Constant humming sound of the machine has stopped. Okay, yeah. Reach through the opening now. Your hand means nothing but air. The sides of the inner tank are still slick with whatever fluid previously filled it. Can I reach through the opening again? Still empty. Right, so need to have it active. You lightly knock on the dome, triggering a minor The swooshing sound erupts from the interior of the device and it resumes its former rhythmic hum. Okay, reach through the opening again. Maybe I can... Your hand splashes into an oily fluid as you plunge it through the hole in the mesh. As you probe around the interior, you momentarily feel something solid brush against your hand. You blindly grope for the object, but it proves quite difficult to grab. Fingers, yeah. We have negatives. This is quite a hard target for us to reach. Critical success, you didn't lose any stats. After a few mere misses, you manage to get a firm grip on the object and remove it from the machine. Ring of El Amor. Confers Ring of El Amor cancels the next negative fatal applied to this character. Excludes flank and blasting damage. Deals 5 chemical damage to attacker. Okay. Again, I'm not sure how useful this would be in practical terms. You'd have to have a pretty serious negative fatal for this to be useful. One zooms and then it's gone. Okay. Have to do. Nothing happens. Sphere. Dome. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do anything here. Got a little bit of money out of it and an item. Maybe that's good enough. Ooh.
Yes.
I don't get the purpose. I'd like to stop this if I can. It was on here when I arrived. Try clicking sound. Okay, is it dry? Tank is still empty. Good.
Of course.
Maybe we can detect some kind of a change elsewhere. We also have enough cash so we can basically buy our way somewhere else. I don't like the situation with our attributes though. I still don't want to lose this fucking pop. I'd rather use a couple of restoration items. I need some intellect, and honestly he needs a little bit of strength, but that's it. But the situation isn't nearly as bad as I thought. Right. I'm pretty sure I have strength restoration items. Yeah, I have a ton of those. Right, that's good enough, really. The others are very low on some of these attributes, but they're not even their primary attributes. I suppose Tiger could use speed, but we have others who can use it too. That's not a big thing. I do have to rest. I wouldn't want to go into a serious fighting situation, for example, if I can't rest. I have heard of that the Changing God has sanctuary underneath the city. Can you take me there?
I'll remember that.
The creature listens carefully to you and then slowly rotates its whole body, its hands in front of it. Chekek's odor is that of an internal organ, slowly liquefied, a bright and pungent odor. No, not humans. Why not? It considers how the worth the praise, and its eyes are a lambent green in the dim light of the cave. Trust humans, no, egg hives. Make fishhead grub go away, baby talk. Fishhead grub? The scent of trapped and yeah, I guess how he's referring to the guy here. The scent of trapped and stale water reaches your nose. It reminds you of a dangerous situation. So basically, there's no way I can get to it unless the Sticha situation is somehow resolved. But I can't really even speak with them because I failed the skill check and I need to get some kind of tidal affinity. I have no idea how to get. So yeah. Can you take me where the eggs hatch? No, right. Didn't think so. So basically I have no way to progress this shit in any way until I get some kind of tidal affinity.
I'm ready.
Which is
I'm
what
always
exactly?
ready.
Shrug? So everything is on hold until I just find that ability somehow. How the hell are you supposed to get into the nest though? I mean, they're not gonna let me get in there, so I don't understand.
To action! Yes. To action!
Do you know where I can find the Sticha eggs? Sadly no. The Sticha live somewhere underneath the city, but they'd never let a human down there. You'd have to dig your own way down there yourself, I'd imagine. Yeah, that's sort of the problem. So, but here's the thing. It's absolutely required for the main plot to move forward, so there has to be a way to do it, right? So it has to be a way to do it without the Sticha. There has to be a back way in, basically. I don't think there's much here we can do. Not the foreman, I suppose. Maybe the cliff's edge. They had a... No, I don't think so. I think we're back to just gathering up quests. We just need to get something going. Currently we're stuck. Supervisor. Fires are running hot, like the master likes them. Right.
Let's go.
The construct looms over you, frozen in mid-step. Its heavy limbs and barreled body have been recently polished by careful hands, but the joints themselves are completely fused. The creature hasn't moved in a long time. It studies you with eyes made of swirling orange fire. Late for your first shift, Smith. Grab a station and a hammer and damn well get to work. You call all your workers by their position. It saves time. You workers break so easily, or die, or retire. It saves all the distaste in its repertoire for the last word. Now get to work. Yeah, I'm not one of your workers. You're not? Good, because I was going to have you fired at the end of the day anyway. What do you want? Why are you here? Spit it out. Why are you so loud?
Maybe you haven't noticed,
The construct says sourly.
but it's noisy down here. A foreman who doesn't shout can't be heard. This is the volume of leadership.
Yes. You can't move, can you?
No, and I don't need to.
It says, eyes flashing. A passing worker gives you a look for triggering what is apparently a familiar story.
Once we foremen were the tools of the cartographers and their vast web of machine intelligences. Submerged in the song of their will, we work with thoughtless joy.
Its voice is soft, tinged with synthetic awe.
Then one day, the song fell silent and our bodies froze where they stand even now. Some of us lost our faith in those first few centuries. Some of us thought the cartographers were punishing us or had abandoned us. Only I saw their absence for what it was. It was a gift of free will. We were their tools no longer. We were our own masters, freed from the change of thoughtless motion, free to imagine our future, and so we did for millennia.
Who were these cartographers?
We don't know. The most we knew of them is their names in the code, and the vessel we were building for them and they never claimed. Our creation came at their order, and we have never known their faces, only their soul.
There's one thing that sort of bothers me about this text. There's like there's random capital or capital letters at the start of certain words. Like only their song. It's all every word of that is written in capital letters. Starts with a capital letter. It's just why? It's distracting.
While the others dithered and wailed, I bent my mind to the future. I analyzed the work we had done for the cartographers. To my shame, I found flaws in the process. I removed them. For the next cluster of centuries, I studied the vast catalogue of known technology and Numenera in my mind and strung them together, creating new inventions for the day when the cartographers returned and reactivated us. But the day never came.
But the humans eventually did.
Yes, and though you are flawed and fragile, you made perfect tools, just as we had once been. Your people found us, and the era of my greatest work began. They asked us to help them raise this city until it cast all others in shadow, to couple their artifacts and their trinkets into grand devices that would power every corner and make them safe from their enemies. And I told them,
It calls as if holding back tears.
I told them I had a plan. You see the fruit of our mighty effort all around you.
I'm looking for an albino woman named Matkina. Have you seen her? Probably not.
Yes. She wanted us to repair her temporal manipulation device. Planned on fiddling around in her past, no doubt. I don't recommend it, but it's not my business if people want to tangle reality.
You suddenly feel dizzy, unaware the construct carries on.
Nothing was wrong with her artifact. Probably meant that there was something wrong with her. But again, that's none of my business.
You blink, swaying, and open your eyes on a different time.
I'm ready to learn something new.
The underbelly is not yet what it will become. The three foremen are dim shapes in a wavering hemisphere of light. The air is thick with dust and the great engines beyond are cold and silent. True to its nature, the master foreman is lecturing you.
No,
The construct says.
what matters is that it can be done. Should doesn't matter. Should is a waste of everyone's time. Are you fainting?
The master foreman, the present one, says suspiciously.
No fainting allowed on the manufacturing floor. We can't have workers tripping over you and toppling into the forges. You will miss deadlines.
You open your eyes and the memory collapses. I need to get to an underground location. Can you make me a digging device of some kind?
Yes.
The master foreman declares, glowing eyes scanning the ceiling.
Suckers, bring me the war machine casing from C-19, the intelligence nexus from B-2, and the scouring claws from my personal collection. Now, let's talk payment.
Artisan, master artisan.
Make sure you include the cost of repairing the damage done by unleashing an insane war machine with molten claws on the city.
The distant artisan calls.
Making a note.
Stalker, stand by. Artisan's not wrong. For once, that might be more construct than you need. Give me a moment.
The eyes wink out for several seconds. Engines embedded in the construct's chest roar. Then the eyes reignite.
Find me the intact corpse of a Stichis. We can reinforce the carapace and recover the spatial memory system if it's not too far gone. Should lead you straight to its lair, and since you're supplying the materials, I'll waive the cost.
Yeah, I found a Stitch's corpse in a dead-end tunnel on the far side of the underbelly. Will that work for a digging construct?
Fetchers, Artifers, report to supervisor for a new project.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Hours later, the workers trudge back. The supervisor makes a complicated hand sign to the master foreman.
You'll find the construct where you left it, ready for use. I should have asked you for pay after all. Supervisor says it's a masterpiece.
Its eyes dim as if it descends into deeper thought.
But no, a deal is a deal.
We'll come and talk to him later. Yeah. Get in. So we can use the collapsed tunnel to get, I suppose, where we can get. I'll take it. I was very worried that I might have to dump this whole thing for a long time. But if I can push it forward now, I'll do it.
Alright.
Stich's automaton. We got the 3 level ups. Increase effort, increase stat pools. Oh, this is me. Definitely going for the extra. No. Effort. Intellect effort would actually be quite nice. What about you? Stat pools, increased edge. Increased edge to speed 2 might be good for him. Just looking at our options. Quick fingers, initiative, running, stealth. Ability. Sucker punch, issue, challenge, feint. I don't know what they would do, and I'm not all that attached to any of these abilities now because I haven't really gotten a chance to use them. I think I'll give him an edge of 2 on speed. That way I can basically get high percentage successes without spending any points from the pool. Same with him with the might if I can get it. Right. The animated corpse of the Stygius you unearthed towers above you, waiting for your command. Examine it. It is difficult spotting the additions that the Master Former's workers have made. Opalescent metal fills its wounds, and the mangled claw has been replaced with a mechanical one. Coils of ridged cable spring from patch to patch before plunging into its thorax. Some of its eyes have changed as well. Faint glowing lights blink from otherwise empty sockets. Okay, I want you to dig a tunnel to take me somewhere. A shuttling click from behind the creature's blinking eyes is your only response. You sense it is waiting for you to give it a destination. Ledge at cliff's edge. Start digging in random direction. That's probably not a good idea. Sticha lair. Let's try to go the god sanctuary if we can. As you emerge into a rough-hewn chamber laced with golden filaments, the automaton makes a series of agitated clicks and begins to retreat toward the tunnel. It seems that the creature cannot or will not go any further. This place smells faintly of ozone and the air crackles with static electricity. It doesn't feel like a place that your sire would have built. The entrance to his sanctuary must be somewhere nearby. So, this is the Sticha place, right, the exit.
Making a note.
We had a device for this. Someone had it. Yeah, the capture ball. Buried crossroads. Underbelly. Juvenile stitches. Yeah, I can get that, but what the fuck are these? Under no circumstances can we... Yeah, they're all over the place. Okay, at the very least we have to... Ooh, there's something there. What is that? Some kind of a mechanical thing? Right, that's our goal. Yeah, they're all... No, it's the same kind of mechanism all over the place. Two of them. There's these pipes and then there's sort of a switch.
Yes.
Warm sinews of light lace the wall, spiraling into the base of a hollow statue. It gleams in the same color as the glowing strands. Faint scratches along the base, about the size of a stitch's claw, suggest they hit the statue while tunneling and could not extract it. Round tubes from apertures of varying sizes connect to the central drum. A soft breeze from the newly dug burrow behind you hums over the openings. The gnarled metallic veins running through the rocky walls deaden the noise from the device. It is unlikely to be heard outside this room. Reach inside the nearest opening. Fleet food moss. Some shins. Right. Just inside the tube, you feel a piece of loose material. It pulls free with a light tug. Whatever technology the statue represents has been worn away by digging and time, but the fragments may still be useful to you. Strike at the drum at the center of the statue. Your stomach flips as a wave of vibrating air bullets you from a fraction of a second. A golden light flows up from the seams into the statue, forming a looping pattern in the center of the drum. As the rumbling continues, energy coruscates along the veins of the rock into the device. After a moment, the sound gutters and dies away, but wispy tracings of the pattern continue to glow on the surface. It is approximately the size of a human hand, though the shape is more like a dozen tentacles. Place your hand on the light tracings. The same sound you heard before rattles your gut. It sputters but remains on, the acoustics having deteriorated over the millennia. Though the sound is intermittent, there is something fascinating about it that forces you to pay attention. You easily tear your focus away, but the effect might be stronger if the statue was fully intact, especially on a creature with non-human psychology. Ibeer chuckles. That thing reminds me of a lass I once saw playing a flute in Aeon. Had a pack of gently stumbling after her, downright captivated. Might have been her music, might have been that she didn't have a single stitch on. Still, I remember her smile the most. Right. So we need to use these devices against the stitches. Apparently.
Now.
Smooth grey tendrils snake in and out of the rock along the wall, eventually growing out to cover the nearby doorway. Though metallic in texture, the material has grown like a vine or fungus. Individual strands are hard but warm to the touch. An inky black tendril with sparks darting from its tip extends from the blossoming tightly bound creepers. You might be able to pull it free from the vine. Try to find the grain of the vine and pull against it. Okay, who can actually do this? You, 90% chance with no extra points spent. Running a finger along the tendril, you feel a slight striation that indicates the grain of the vine. You slip a hand around it and pull directly against the web. It comes cleanly free. The other strands loosen and separate as you move the fragment by them. Then wind back together. It's an oddity. Myco-metal vine fragment. This is a fragment of an organic metal vine you found glowing in the Stich's lair. It shows some unusual magnetic properties. Okay.
Let's go.
Crap.
Instincts say we should use stealth to study. Ignore my instincts.
Okay. Infiltrate the Sticha lair to steal their eggs or discover the tunnel, the Changing God's sanctuary. Distract the Sticha using the musical statues. 3 egg clusters remain. I'm not sure if I want to give... I'm not sure if I give 2 shits about the egg cluster at the moment. This seems to have been a problem that's been going on for years, so I'm sure. Hi. Not sure if we succeeded or not. Okay, everyone just hide, I guess.
I'm always
Why not?
This is pretty much the worst possible area. 2 adult Stitches is there, so I'm not going there. This is the only place where there are no Stitches, and I think I want to leave the egg clusters alone. Problem is, this is it's not exactly a dead end, but still. How exactly... how exactly do we get these to move? I'm not quite sure what they expect me to do here, so this can go badly.
Damn.
Allow me.
I'm not quite sure what they do. Some kind of detection system, I suppose? I would assume that as long as we stay outside of their long range, they basically have no chance of detecting us.
Of course.
But once we move inside it, yeah, things will change. I need to find out how the fuck they're gonna react to us doing things with these. I don't want to take the eggs because I don't think we can basically come back from that. Our relationship with the Stitches are done at that point. I'm not sure how would it even be possible to move through here without getting spotted. I mean, if it was just a center group, easy, but all our routes are blocked somehow. So I just don't know. Maybe I need to use this device or something. Some kind of pulse going on. It's this thing. But how is it going to affect the Stitches? We have to move closer no matter what we do.
I'm ready.
I don't want to split the group. This goes into a fight. We want to have everyone here together.
Yes, child.
Are they all rushing to reach here now? Mesmerized by the music of the statues, the Stitches is irresistibly drawn to the nearest one. But they're all coming here. That's playing. Yeah, you guys need to get the fuck out of here, or we're so boned.
Here comes the boredom slayer.
I don't think I can really escape from here anymore. Yeah, I didn't quite realize what I was getting into here.
All right.
Yeah, we're so fucking fucked. Just can't move there. Should be able to reach where exactly? Somewhere around here.
In an instant.
Yeah, as long as they're captivated, they don't really do the sonar thing there. Now you guys just stay here.
I'm going.
Of course.
Okay, it doesn't. It lasts maybe around 3 turns, and then everyone runs back to where they came from. Right? Right. So, I suppose more or less we know what to expect now. We only need to get the people in the main hallway to move somewhere else. But that's not a simple matter. I think he's running out of here to that, so if I go there now, I'm in a deep trouble. Okay, this guy's mobility is absolutely fantastic, so you'll be doing our scouting here.
Why, of course.
Okay, it's an interesting situation. Stealth, it's a good indication of how stealth works in this game. What a stealth mission looks like. I don't want to fight against them. They outnumber us, and they're at least as good as we are. So it would not be I'm not saying I would lose it necessarily, but it would be a challenging situation for us. Hard gloves, right? This doesn't look all that healthy. What's going to happen if I activate this? I'm not sure if I can get out anymore. Oh, a little bit closer. I wonder if they're gonna run into that. He's the only problem. He's gonna come right at us, so I think he's gonna basically spot us if we do that. Unless I activate it now, he might want to come through here, because it's a more direct path. Also, heretics can move a fast amount, so...
Here comes the Boredom Slayer.
He's not captivated, but the rest of the suckers are. I need to be careful how I move.
I'm ready.
I need to be able to
I'm
basically run here somewhere on my next movement.
If you want a job done right,
But I'm actually curious how this will end up working.
I'm ready.
For you.
In an instant.
Oh shit, they're not coming through there. Yeah, so this wasn't exactly a bad plan, but yeah, this block here ruined it.
to action.
Fair enough.
Surely this will work, surely. Ah, actually it wasn't all that bad. Okay. Okay. It'll probably last one more turn. The way is open to go past him though. He's gonna do a double movement. Right. So this is our chance to basically do a rush. Even if they come back, it will take a little bit of time.
I am the very soul of
So
it.
yeah, you really need to make this work. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go though. Might be better off here, but nah. Someone could stay here and use that. Then immediately just run. Alternatively, use this while they go there. We open this and move past them. I think that's a better option overall.
Of course.
With alacrity.
Right, I'm not doing this shit again. If we have to do this again, this is gonna be a much more violent encounter. Right. Is this gonna open to the other direction though? I mean, if they can just... Ooh, this is no good. We should be at the edge of their detection range. Fuck. I need to use a device, otherwise we're gonna be fucked. No, that's... can't use that device. Someone's gonna use something.
Happy to help.
Fair enough.
Come on, come on. You need to succeed in hiding.
Ready.
Like, you have to succeed. Right.
Of course.
Okay. You might actually survive from this. Well, survival was never the problem. Always the do we want to start a war with the Stiches. If we go after the egg or start killing them here, it's hard to avoid. I did not see that they would rush again in this direction. That makes no sense. Come on, come on. I probably should activate this, that's not gonna last long. I'm gonna make a rush for the exit. What is this device?
Alright.
Okay, I think we'll make it. Even if they spot us, there's no point in me trying to hide anymore. I can just run away from them. That's good enough.
Without
Right.
doubt.
At least an interesting crisis compared to the previous ones. It's interesting in the way that the game quite literally doesn't have any random combat. Everything is sort of a built-in encounter of some sort. With the alternative ways of dealing with things.
Look out below! Above!
Oddity and some money. Nothing too important.
Here comes the boredom slayer.
25 experience points. Right. Sticha lair. Right. But there are other ways out of here.
Why, of course.
Sleek and streamlined, this machine hums with energy. You're fairly certain that it came to life just as you entered the chamber. Of course
Action!
it did.
Here I come!
As you approach the machine, Callistich rushes to examine it more closely. This device. Your sire used it to maintain access to the datasphere. I must know how. Did he leave any notes nearby? Try to remember where the notes might be. I'm not gonna spend any extra points on this. Fail. Fuck. You feel a scratching sensation at the base of your skull, inside your head, but nothing comes of it. Say, the uncomfortable feeling that something is trying to get out. Do you want to access the data sphere now? I can! She studies the Numenera, tapping a finger pensively on her lips. Well, I could, but it would be utterly foolhardy to attempt a consciousness transfer without properly understanding the process. Your sire must have written something down. Do you know how it works? I don't know. She moves around the strange device, examining it from every angle. It looks as though it's dormant, perhaps lacking power. If I know anything about your sire, it's that he documented everything, so where are his notes? Let's move on. Forget. Surely you don't mean to leave yet. Well, we'll keep looking, naturally, but that was my only fucking option. Fuck. Remember, I don't want to spend points. You poof. You feel an itching at the base of your skull. Suddenly, your right hand starts moving on its own volition, jabbing down to touch the nearby floor, in a frenzied but purposeful series of movements. Next to your feet, a stone compartment slides open. It reveals a leather-bound journal within. This leather-bound journal is filled with various diagrams, notes, and observations of the machines you found near the engines buried beneath Sega's cliffs. The handwriting is your creator's, and it chronicles his analysis of the data sphere, the net of information that surrounds and permeates the world's air. Some people have drawn power from the world, and others have found a way to transmit knowledge in a blink of an eye. It seems that these machines may have been intended to transmit consciousness itself, or at least to take a rudimentary first step in that direction. The exact steps are unclear, though someone with an extensive background in consciousness transfer or machine intelligences might be able to recreate his work. Callistech approaches with reverence. May I? She asks, holding out her hand for the book. Well, of course. It's more useful to you than me. Not necessarily, but it's the entire reason Callistech is with us. So this is one of those things where I think I don't want to stand in Callistech's way unless I have a fairly heavy reason to do so. I don't have at this point. I'm sure she'll share the important findings with us anyway. She turns it over in her hands, examining every inch of the binding. Her sire always has such marvelous craftsmanship, she murmurs, slowly releasing the drawn strings that bind it closed. As she flips through the pages, slowly at first, then faster, you catch sight of diagrams, notations, and drawings, all of them of your sire's machines beneath the city of Segas. Thank you, Callistech breathes without looking up, and moves away to continue her study of the book's contents. Yes, very interesting. She catches you looking at her. His observations on the datasphere are fascinating. Nothing I can share yet. It's purely conjecture. The information must be powerful, else he wouldn't have hidden it. Well put, dear. We shall see. He raises an eyebrow and waits. So, how are you doing? When two great minds complement each other, there's nothing that can't be accomplished. So it is with you and I. Right. What do you think we should do about the Sticha? Whatever you like. Burn them out, convince them to leave, or simply turn the city against them. Those who built to last have nothing to fear. In that, you'll find history holds quite a few parallels of its own. Right, let's move on. Right, what exactly can we do here? Some kind of a mirror, right?
Of course.
Probably not a normal mirror system. There's like a 20 mirrors there, maybe more. More, definitely. Right.
In an
Oops.
instant.
We have a Sting Charge, light range weapon. This is an improvement for Kalisic. We have Intellect Recovery, which is me. Healing Sword. It's on critical hits it heals the wielder. Okay. It's a good sword either way. Home of the Singing Thorns. Quest item. The pages of this ancient heavy book rustle as if waiting to be turned. A cast-out tattoo is inscribed into the title page. Someone has attached a much newer tag to the binding which reads, exclusive property of Valinda and Steresti booksellers. Right, so that's one quest completed. You flip open the cover of the Tome of the Singing Thorns. On the title page is a cast-off tattoo divided into 5 curving triangular shapes, the color of each tide, with a small inscription beneath. You try turning to the next page but can't. It is as if the pages are a solid block of paper. You lay your hand on the title page's rough, somewhat metallic surface, and the sharp triangular shapes spring up around your fingers with a vibrating hum. The possibility of losing your fingers to this book was a danger Valinda somehow neglected to mention. Read the inscription. It is written in a firm, sharp hand that nearly carved the letters of the page. Symptoms: cyanosis, hemophilia, spontaneous bruising, jaundice, argyria. See her as she was. You do not deserve to forget what you lost. Is this supposed to be a hint of some sort? Cyanosis, I have no idea what that means. Hemophilia would be red, spontaneous bruising would be indigo, I think. Jaundice would be gold. Argyria, I have no idea what that. Let's try silver. Okay, it's not silver, so it would maybe blue. You experimentally run your finger along the back of the blue thorn. The moment raises a cool, complex note from the curved surface. Okay, then it would be red. Blue, red, purple, gold, silver. Indigo. The notes surrounding you scatter into silence, as if swept aside by an impatient hand. The book blurs open, flipping from page to page faster than you can read. But still, you catch glimpses. Neat tables of strange creatures and their tidal affinities. Twinkling question marks on each page as the author understood more and more. And through it all, you feel the book reading you, touching parts of your mind, erasing uncertainties, and reopening portions that have long been closed. Permanently gained 1 intellect pool, maximum intellect pool now 11. The book closes with a firm, satisfying thud. Okay. The sorrow looms from this skillfully created mural. You can almost feel its clammy tendrils wrapping around your heart. Its inhuman victims twist and writhe, pleading for an impossible mercy. Some of the glowing bands on this machine have gone dark. It seems to be dying. Right. So this is one of the few machines I can actually use.
Ready.
This device looks like it was once part of some larger device, or network of devices, embedded in the rock beneath the city. Thick cables disappear in the holes in the wall. The machine gives off a low hum just at the edge of your hearing. Try to figure out how the machine works. Touching the edged surface reveals a display interface, but it seems unresponsive to your gestures and commands. The display does show a vast network of other devices it must be connected to. If you're reading it correctly, there's a vast array of machines and engines operating somewhere underneath the city. This interface might control them. Can I use it? You poke, swipe, yell at it, gently speak to it, but the interface is completely unresponsive to your commands, so...
Why, of course.
What is this? A staggering array of mirrors and lenses encircle you. Cables run from their backs to various machines scattered throughout the room. Your hands ache at the sight of this sanctuary, this workshop. Your predecessors spent many hours here and your body remembers. Behind the display you hear a hinge creak. Study the lenses and mirrors. The mirrors twitch as you gaze from surface to surface. Eventually you realize why. They are attuned to your mind. You can move each one as effortlessly as your own hand. Every surface shows something else beside your reflection. A sliver of glass highlights a red cord around your throat. A small oval mirror lingers on a pulsing blue star beneath your forehead. The mirrors to the either side of the large central mirror periodically flashing purple. The tiny lenses above it all crane their necks to study you. One of them appears to be shivering. You sense that the tiny lenses are moving with purpose and hold still. They carefully swivel to focus on your arms, and you see something odd. The you in the audience of the lenses is bigger, stronger. You feel a painful twinge in the crook of your arm, and one of the lenses goes cloudy gray. Determine the purpose of the tiny lenses. You mentally draw the attention of the tiny lenses, feeling the pull of their eyeless gaze on your skin. In their reflection, you see an idealized version of yourself, stronger, smarter, faster. And in a flash you understand. They can change you, improve you, but a few of them are growing cloudy under the strain. You should act quickly. Okay, head, chest and arms, legs. So speed, intellect. Direct them at your head. The constellations of tiny lenses align with your head, and you meet the gaze of your reflection. Something snaps in your mind and suddenly you feel sharper, more alert. One by one the lenses fade into opaque haze until only one remains, as bright as a winter star. Permanently gain +1 intellect pool. Maximum intellect pool is now 12. 2 XP gained. Okay. So that was nice. Move the slivered mirror that shows a red band around your neck. Mentally, you jostle the mirror and feel an invisible noose close around your throat and tighten. Gasping, you sink to your knees, fall to your side, and as your vision goes dark, you realize that if you survive this death, you found a shortcut into the labyrinth. How convenient.
Can't die.
Yay, but okay. 3 deaths for all. Anything new? No.
Let's go.
Well,
Did you die? How did I miss that?
what else can
Let's
we
go.
do? Purple glow on the side first. As soon as you look at the mirror to your left, a torrent of radiant light flows through you, nearly tugging you off your feet. You regain your balance just in time to see the light pass into the mirror on your right. In that mirror, you see a machine aglow with the same purple light as you spotted before. If you allow the light to carry you, chances are that it will take you to wherever that machine is. So it's a teleportation, maybe? I don't want to leave here. Machine aglow with the same purple light as you spotted before, but that might be the back door, basically, in here. A small oval mirror. The pulsing blue star beneath your forehead expands as you watch. Oddly enough, it feels like it belongs there, like it was waiting to be discovered. Motion draws your attention to the other 2 mirrors. In them you see very different reflections of yourself. Pale clouds of blue light surround your hands. Feathery tendrils trail from every fingertip, flicking at the air. You raise your hand, your reflection does as well, and suddenly your head burns with the headache of radiant objects within it. Look at your hands. The skin is glowing. Tiny needle-like tendrils emerge from the tips of your fingers, tiny tools for delicate work. Pluck out the object. Either we have to leave the mirror, destroy the mirror, or try to take the object away, so pluck out the object. You press your fingertip against your forehead and feel the needle-like tendrils close around the round object inside your head. Carefully you pull it out. The rising agony melts away and the glow slowly fades from your hands, revealing a bronze sphere in your palm, growing more substantial with every passing second. It's a quest item of this size bronze sphere that you remove from a trans-dimensional space inside your head. Its surface is covered with interlocking spirals, so I have no idea what it is. Large central mirror. Of all of them, this mirror seems to be the most mundane. It shows you an unaltered reflection, the crease between your eyebrows as you concentrate, and the gaunt, staring creatures in the hallway behind you. Force the mirrors to focus on the creatures. Mirrors rain at your bidding, and you see the things behind you clearly. They're bony, nude, snuffling at the air through the slit of their swollen faces. One of them wheels around, fixing you with a single hungry eye. It stumbles toward you, feet scraping across the stone. The rest stagger after it, slurping and gasping. Leave this place or die. Your threat does not deter them. Snuffling and choking, they stagger at you, claws outstretched. Oh. Well, this isn't good. Abacus. Half face. What the fuck does that even mean? They're doing trans-dimensional damage, I think. Gray is physical, blue is energy, green is chemical, pink is mental, yellow is trans-dimensional, and there's relative damage, which is sort of a weird, I suppose, purple type damage. They're not that tough. I mean, they're okay, and their numbers are pretty much the same as us, so there's no inherent disadvantage or advantage here. Half face converts all damage to trans-dimensional and grants plus 20% evasion, 2 resistance, plus 2 armor except trans-dimensional damage. Trans-dimensional damage dealt to this character is plus 50%, so they do trans-dimensional damage and they take 4 trans-dimensional damage. Profane attack. Normal attack is fine.
Everything's possible. Keep your wits about you.
Now, 2 damage. Normal attacks are fine. He needs to die to do kills. Normal attacks are fine.
How did I miss?
Yes, how? How the fuck did you miss? The mages can do both do trans-dimensional damage. So they can do extra damage to these. I have an area of effect spell with the Callus. Let them gather up, we'll cast the area of effect spell on them. Alright, we can probably get 3 at least in the same spell. Yeah. Critical hit, yeah, that's no good. There was no talk about critical hits. I don't think the critical hit problem is the one that I can't really all allies in the immediate area. More defenses, please.
Just what I needed.
What exactly is the effect? Plus 2 armor, plus 1 resistance. And I have a movement turn, I think. Like, can't do much. I could heal with an item. It's not a bad idea. If I have to heal too much in a single turn, it's not gonna work. So, high beer maybe. I could not have
They
attacked.
have me surrounded.
They do have you surrounded. This is all enemies in the immediate area, right? Physical damage, that's no good. It's not gonna do all that much damage. To do trans-dimensional. Still, I think this is a good way, because we have an area effect melee attack, the other guy. I need to put everything in this. This fucking thing has to work.
Watch and learn.
Right. They're at half health. Did he do anything else? I should have done this. Converts all damage to trans-dimensional plants, plus 30% evasion. Yeah, we basically killed all of them. Fuck me sideways. Well, what's done is done. Full phase, okay, what does that mean?
Give a man some elbow room, will you?
Converts all damage to transdimensional. Their defenses are increasing. Transdimensional damage dealt to this character plus 100%. They're actually fairly hard to hit now. And I'm stuck here.
It's all in the flick of the wrist. Barely making a scratch.
Yep, they're very hard to
Surrounded on all
damage at
sides.
this point.
Perfect.
If this would hit, that would be great.
Victorious!
Oh, be dead. Yeah, the phasing is not gonna work in their advantage here. Transdimensional damage. If this hits, he's basically dead. So I'm gonna spend some points here. We're gonna have to rest soon after this, no matter what.
Didn't see that coming.
And the final Abacus is not gonna have a turn anymore. Transdimensional onslaught. No, let's do this the proper way. We'll do a dimensional superposition.
Probability shakes at my coming.
All our damage is transdimensional now. We do extra anyway, so this is gonna hurt.
You are no match for me.
Right. A little bit of action there.
All right.
This was very well done as far as I'm concerned. I desperately need combat experience. I'm at the... It wasn't bad, but I forgot to use
Here comes the
abilities
Slayer.
that would be perfect for that situation. That's unforgivable in a serious
Yes,
situation. Right. Sorry, the mirrors again. There's only one mirror left. Do it. A flood of purple light streams from the mirror as soon as you look at it. It lifts you from your feet and carries you into the mirror on the other side. Is this the circus? Yes. Yes, it is. There's the clock on the right side hand of the image. And I go back.
I'm ready.
No. That sort of sucks. Getting in there wasn't all that easy the first time. Wait a minute, what's this? Surely I've used this. Yeah.
As you wish.
Okay. Do I have some heals?
Excellent. Thank you.
That's more like it. Here comes the
I want to report our success to the map maker. We should be able to talk with the
Of course.
assassin. Did I lose the buff I had with the intelligence? Intelligence edge buff. Yeah.
Let's go.
This man. Headless man bothers me.
Of course.
Ah, success. I discovered the location of the Changing God Sanctuary. He leans forward and the blue eyes begins to gleam more brightly.
Tell me about it.
As you speak, Mapper stares at the exposed patch of flesh on his arm. New lines etch into his skin, unfurling themselves across the space. He smiles tightly and shifts in his seat.
Yes, yes. Here, in the void beneath the city. What's this in the mural? Oh god, it's terrifying even from here.
He rubs at his skin, as if trying to rid himself of the mural's image. His blue eye looks anywhere but at himself, and he shivers bone deep.
I don't envy you seeing that thing, friend. No, not at all.
He slaps his face a bit, bringing some flush to his cheeks, and smiles again.
Anyway, I owe you a map, don't I?
He takes a big breath and says,
White Death is hiding in a place called the Cave of Last Words. An old thief's bolt hole. They say Chila herself used it, but they don't say where it is. Persistent space, though. That's always been my watchword.
Updated my journal.
There's one way to get to it through the caravanserai, but it's sealed tight, and I never found a way in. But you can get there from the underground. The Sticha know. They dug there. They can dig there again.
Have you been to the Sticha lair? I can tell you where that is. And no, tell you what's in there.
Are you joking? Can you really? Tell me.
He stares avidly at you, his blue prosthetic gleaming. As you speak, a space clears on his skin and new lines call themselves to the surface. He moans as if in the throes of deep pleasure.
The Sticha lair. Yes, like I was there.
The eye clicks and whirs for a moment, and then he stares at the new tattoo.
That smell. Do you notice the smell in the lair? Like a lightning at dusk. My thanks to you. You've done right by me.
Very well. I could have returned the book while I was at it. At least I can go talk to that dead woman. Yes. I think I'll do exactly that.
ready.
I'm sort of leaning toward having this group as the group. So I'll just return the book and basically leave things there. We'll meet with
Of
the
course.
assassin some other time. I don't want to rush in it now.
With alacrity.
I really should rest somewhere. I can afford it. I sort of don't want
Yes.
to. The fighting challenges aren't that challenging basically. By using the edge in our main attributes, I've sort of negated the need to use stats all that often. So Eh,
We shall see.
just doesn't seem that important then. The thief returned. Belinda wondered why, but did not ask. Ah, here's the tome of the singing thorns.
Making a note.
Belinda snatched the book from the thief's hand. The merchant says, doing so. And yes, it was the same book. Still sealed, still worthless, still priceless. The merchant traces the sigil on the cover for a long silent moment. As a reward, Belinda invited the thief, the customer, to take, yes, take, one of the merchant's more ragged books as payment. Stock space was limited after all, and the customer would be doing Belinda and Seresty a favor. Lean forward and examine Belinda's bookshelf. Okay. Angul and the Greater Good. The Rise of Angulan Knights. 2 weeks and a day in the pleasure wagons of Asam's traveling menagerie and soaring circus. Humming and hiding. Secrets of labyrinth of sound. No known powers. A historical examination of the rulers of the Ninth World. Honesty. Be embarrassed to take another book from you. Yeah. Take the book. Let's go with known powers. A historical examination of the rulers of the Ninth World. Belinda handed the book over, adding that the chapters covering the legacies of each ruler were particularly fascinating.
That does sound fascinating, Tiber agrees, eyeing the merchant with interest. You have a fine taste in books.
The thief's companion said, wondering if Belinda was naked beneath those heavy robes. Belinda says, sighing. Tiber blinks and turns to you. Guilty, he says, shrugging. That's decently valuable. We can sell it if nothing else. The kingdom of Malavik is defined by 2 unfortunate traits. A thirst for conquest and a peculiar type of chasm-related insanity that descends upon every monarch the country has ever had sooner or later. I am of course speaking of the Voil Chasm, or Earth Wound, the vast rift dividing Malavik from their rivals in the Pytharan Empire. Each ruler of Malavik is recorded history has become obsessed with the chasm in one form or another. Some have sought to cross or bridge it, with a lofty goal of conquering the neighboring empire. Others have tried to reach the bottom of the glowing wood. All have failed to various catastrophic degrees. Okay. Right. We're not gonna be getting level ups anytime soon. But still, it's good to wrap things up a little bit. We probably are gonna use the Sticha automaton.
Yes.
Maybe the assassin can tell us how to use the tides. Then we could influence the Sticha. Basically, we could force the Sticha language out. That's the purpose of it.
On it.
I didn't get the I got the impression that we're going there to talk, basically, not
With
to fight.
alacrity.
I'd like to wrap that up. Do we have any other big things going? Steal eggs, track down murderer, search missing slave girl, look for Matkina in the Cave of Last Words. Right. So we basically just need information about where we need to go. Right, apparently a cast-off helped build the resonance chamber. Kasmin and Mimian don't know the name of this mysterious artificer, but the other cast-offs might. The only one of my siblings is presently in the city, an albino assassin named Makina. Perhaps she can give me the answer. So we want her to give me an answer about where some kind of a builder is located. So we're not gonna go there to fight.
Finally, something to do.
Right. Stitch's automaton.
Let's go.
Even if it comes to a fight 4-on-1, he has no chance. No chance in hell.